Welcome to Overwatch, and welcome to another episode of Coaching the Many. This time we're going to be talking specifically about shot calling more than anything else. But it's going to be under the guise of we have two heroes being played in today's game. We will have a Sombra on the attack, and we'll have a Reaper on the defense. Spoiler. Game is about 2.8, so like mid-platinum. A lot of these guys have diamond badges, but around mid-platinum, I imagine. But the email that this guy sent to me intrigued me. I wanted to submit this video for some coach. He just got back into combat for a long time off, and I'm looking to improve. I've been gone every season until this. I've been starting trying to climb more by coordinating the team. Not a bad idea. I like what Ryan meant. Like Ryan passed on some wisdom from a Cloud9 player called Grego, or former Cloud9 player now, I think. Might be confusing that with someone else. But Grego passed on this. It's actually a really nice bit of wisdom. There are three key skills in Overwatch. You have mechanical skill, which is your ability to shoot people, like positional and tactics knowledge. So knowing where to stand, knowing how to fight, what fights to take, how to keep track of ultimates, sort of the strategic layer of the game. And then you will have shot calling and team coordination, which is like the extra layer. If you're good at one of those, you'll probably get into Masters. If you've got two of those, you'll get into Grandmasters. If you're good at all three, you'll get into Top 500. And it's sort of managing and figuring out how to get good at all three of them. So this guy wants to focus on that sort of that third aspect as I try and do something impossible with my fingers. And tries to get better at his shot calling. One of the most common questions I get as well is like, how do I get good at shot calling? What is good shot calling? How do I do good shot calling? So we're going to be focusing a lot on that. Basically, he says that, he starts out as Sombra, his favorite hero to play. If you want to be good at shot calling, Sombra is very, very important to it. And then plays the Reaper on defense. At that point, he feels like his play starts sucking, and I don't know exactly why. I think I stopped playing smartly, and I probably should have swapped to Tracer soonly, but I don't, and something happens. And so should be good. Should be good. Let's go. Coordinating team will only get you so far. The thing is, good callouts, good little bits of information here and there can get you all kinds of results, all kinds of nice little results. Basically, like telling people what to focus on, telling people what to do, all that kind of stuff can work out. This also mirrors, it might have been even the same guy who sent in the footage. No, I think it's someone else who sent in some Sombra footage as well. And basically, he starts saying, like, when I pick Sombra, one of two reactions happens. Either people understand to use the health packs and to maximize the effectiveness of Sombra, or they will sort of go, oh my god, why the fuck you pick Sombra? Why? As long as you can explain how to use Sombra, people will generally be okay with it.
Crappy days less scrappy. Thank you.
I'm happy to have helped, Ixia. Happy to have helped. So, let's talk about objectives first and foremost before we begin. Like, what are our objectives as Sombra? What do we want to establish, especially on Gibraltar? Like, this is the moment, this is the time when we should be planning, and we should be thinking pretty hard about, how are we going to achieve our goals? So, where's the health packs? First things first, there's a health pack over here, then there's the health pack sort of down in, this tunnel's down, and there's a health pack by the under the bridge. This one's going to be rather important. This one's rather important, and then even further on, sort of into, like, as we push super far in, we'll have the server room to control as well. We should kind of disregard this one. This one's, like, only if we're getting pushed into spawn. It's not going to be too helpful to hack it. It's sort of just a nice launching point, but honestly, this one is going to be the one that's going to be the most useful to us as we start pushing down, and then the one in the server room is going to be super vital to us, because if we can take control of that. I've just caught a moth, I think. Nope. They're faster than they look. I have moths. I have a lot of moths. That's a donation as well. Bloody hell.
Hello, friendo.
Hello, friendo. Hello, Red Razor Aaron. Appreciated. As always. Right. So we want to take control of the health packs. We want to build up EMP as soon as possible. People are calling out. This is quite nice. Like, people are calling out what the enemy team's running, so we know a couple of things. You just see them off flying in front of my face there. It's tiny fucking things. And yeah, we can just sort of try and make our plans accordingly. First things first. Don't do that with the translocator. I don't like this decision at all. Basically, the translocator is like a leash for us. So you want to think of, like, when we're playing Sombra, we want to think of this timer as this is the amount of time we have to do things with. This timer is the sort of the be-all and end-all, because when that timer runs out, we lose a big escape option. We lose the ability to peel back very easily. Like, if you've played against good Sombras, you'll know that when they come in, they start poking, attacking them almost feels futile. You just drive them back, they get a bit low, but then they just vanish and get more EMP charge out of it, and you just go, well, frig. You might not say frig, you might say something else. We would probably say, oh, fuck, like I would. And then you sort of go, well, bloody hell. And then, yeah, like, she'll come back. So we want to be thinking about this timer pretty fucking consistently. The best place to have that timer is pretty much next to a health pack. And, like, the health pack down here, honestly, is not a terrible place to start. You know, you hack the health pack, drop your thing, run up this way, and then just try and get some early damage done. Instead, we end up just sort of dropping out, and then we just sort of back away from this Hanzo for no real reason. Like, I don't even get why we recalled at this moment, because this is not a sonic arrow. Because we know this, because he has a sonic arrow when we come out here. See that we're detected. So we know that he's got his sonic arrow on cooldown. That's a 20-second cooldown. He's not going to have that available for a little while. We're on a 12-second cooldown, so he can even track that a little bit. So we know that we're nice and safe, just sort of moving around. That said, moving this direction isn't the safest in the world, so fair enough. But it will be much easier to just drop down here, just jump out normally, hack this, run this way. Or not even leave that door, run this way, hack this, move in. Like, we don't have to leave this high ground either. We have a couple of choices, and we want to be clever with those choices. This is a complete whiff that we didn't really need to do. So if our objective is to get over to get to that health pack, we don't need to throw our translocator here. Like, we just committed a relatively important cooldown to something we didn't need to commit it to. Take the health back, fair enough. Let's drop the translocator, and then we have options. Like, we actually have a whole shitload of options right now, where we could even go and try and hack this area, for example. They're dropping down. That's fucking great for us, because we know that anything up here is going to be easy to threaten. Mercy just delivers herself to us. Easy kill.
Mercy down. Hanzo's low.
Hanzo's called out a low, but can't really do anything with it. And then we have to use our translocator for a short hop instead of using it to fully retreat, which leaves us a little bit vulnerable. We've taken the low ground. Like, this will be a perfect location to leave our translocator, just so we have that option. And honestly, like, start poking the Genji, and when we see this Reinhardt, we should honestly just peel back behind him, because the rest of our team, in theory, should be actually... No.
Lower health pack is hacked once you get over there.
Judging from the positioning, no. We're actually fine peeling around. I'd say that, like, if our team was a little bit more aggressive and just starting to come around this corner, we'd want to stay behind him, just so we give him no good choices, so we basically hack him, and then he's just going to die. But because our team is this far back, we're fine, actually, just peeling around here, just doing the safe thing instead. What would be nice is if we did have the health, like if we did have our translocator behind him, and we do want to just keep pressure on him, we could always just jump to it and then hack him. But he just turns around anyway for us, which is just like, he's dead. Should be moving forward, and honestly, I would rather we move forward and take control of the health pack in the server room, rather than trying to take that one. It's a more useful health pack. It's more commonly used for us in fights as a team. That one's sort of more for the enemy team, and it's a denial of resources, but still. Like, I'll be fine with us just peeling off and getting that one. Take this one. Let's drop our translocator. Like, we really want to be dropping this translocator now, just so we can afford to be aggressive. Because right now, if we get caught, and we get caught out, we have to spend time trying to throw it. We have to spend time waiting until we jump to it. And it's just like, it's not really going to do much for us. And then we get up here, we get the hack onto this guy, but then Hanzo appears. It just kind of feels bad, man. What we could be doing during all this time is we have, like, completely safe access to just run forward here. If we had our translocator down behind us, this is terrible arrow. So we just run around him, drop a hack on him, just put pressure on him, kill him. This will work perfectly fine. If they turn around and start smacking us, we just hit the translocate button, we're out, we pick up a health pack, we have more EMP, we're perfectly fine. Like, it's... We don't have to do this fancy shit using the translocator for mobility when we have it as a completely 100% safe method of escape.
Watch the Hanzo up top.
Also, the fact that this guy's called Apex Central makes me think that it might be Ryan. It's Ryan's hidden account. Because there's only one person that, you know, Central could possibly be.
Alright, I'm coming all the way back from spawn, but I must have EMP.
One thing I'll mention about shot calling. Shot calling is, like any leadership position, about 90% tone of voice. Don't mumble. What is mumbling? This is mumbling.
Alright, I'm coming all the way back in spawn, but I must have EMP.
That's a bit mumbly. If you want a shot call, like, it sounds weird and it sounds strange, but the way that you speak will impact how other people react to things you're saying. How people will respond to you, the tone of voice you use will determine whether they respond to you or not. If you sound open and friendly and, like, into it, people are more likely to respond than if you sound a little bit dejected. Guys, let's just push. Guys, let's get some kills. Guys, let's push. Let's get some kills. Like, which one are you more likely to respond to? Guys, let's engage. Or guys, oh, guys, engage. Guys, oh. And you don't want to, like, tone of voice is so important in stuff. And I'll actually highlight my good buddy Valk here. This Valk usually has a pretty positive tone of voice, and that's partially because he's a streamer. He knows how to modulate his voice. He knows how to control it and how to use it. You can guess what's about to happen, by the way. You know, he knows how to manipulate his voice to make himself sound excited and interested in stuff. It's just part of being a streamer. You often are excited and interested in stuff, but you're usually not this excited and interested in stuff. Like, I could sit here and do this in my usual speaking voice and be very monotone and be somewhat, you know, mumbly and not talk in my usual projected voice, which is the way I speak now. I also use more hand gestures and all that kind of stuff because I'm a very handsy speaker as well. But you would be shocked. And Valk is very good at just, you know, his calls are crisp, they're clear, they're loud, they're concise, so low. And, you know, I take the piss out of him for it because he will just say low, and that isn't necessarily useful. Positions are always more useful. So let's say this Genji is low. Genji under shuttle, low. Like, that's all you need. That's all you need to say. And I know that some people are, like, nervous about their voice. But honestly, the more you speak, the easier it gets. Like, I used to be exactly the same, believe it or not. I used to be very paranoid about my voice because I speak relatively quietly, and I speak fast. I used to speak quietly, and I've learned how to sort of modulate it and make it work. People can do it without too much issue. Also, as chat says, you know, if you are angry, you might want to step back from shot calling. If you are upset and it comes through in your voice and your tone of voice, step back from shot calling, because all you're going to do is increase the chance you're going to lose, not increase the chance you're going to win, which is the objective of any shot calling. This EMP, I thought it was a little bit greedy. It works out. You guys commit a shitload of ults. I really like this hack on the Mercy. I thought that was really fucking nice. Because, like, the Ana heal grenade is just too much for us to deal with. So honestly, the DPS we're putting out here, the most important thing we could do is definitely hack this Mercy. This was really nice. Yeah, I watched your first. Yeah, if you actually, that's actually really good advice from chat from Logos. Go back and watch my first YouTube video. Either watch the Alien Resurrection or Alien Isolation one, or watch the first Overwatch video, which is the character overview for Tracer. And you can hear me, and it's on a shitty headset microphone, and I go, "Welcome to Overwatch. This time we're going to be talking about Tracer. We're going to be talking about this." And it's hell for me to listen to it now because I can hear so clearly. Like, I sound scared, I sound timid, I sound afraid. Just project. Let yourself be heard. And people will respond to it. Tone of voice is a huge factor in human psychology. But yeah, I was really happy to see this hack come through. I wasn't happy about the Translocator. I thought the Translocator was garbage, but and I'll talk about why in a second. But the hack on the Mercy was superb. We definitely want to be calling that out, so I want to hear Mercy has res. Good. A location would be nice. Round corner under shuttle, just anything like that would have been superb as well. Monkey goes in, kills the Mercy. That's partially on us. Like, I would like to think that the Monkey responded to us calling out that Mercy has res, understands that that is very important to kill, and then we get that. This Translocator, like, don't throw it at people that you are fighting, because if you use it, he knows exactly where you are. Either throw it back towards your team so it's an escape, or throw it somewhere tricky, like up here, so you can escape. Here, this is just like, this is a case of, like, I am out of bullets, I'm going to throw my Translocator at Mercy and hope that it kills her. It doesn't, and there's no telefragging in this game, unfortunately. Sombra would be fucking incredible if telefragging was a thing. Unfortunately, it isn't. Yeah, it's all that Tracer vid. You've changed? Yes, I have. experience with the job. I've been doing this a while now, Jesus. Too long.
Good work.
I actually like this positioning from us, just because, especially with the Reinhardt and the low ground, we're quite strong here. What I would like to see is, the Translocator. We need this safety net to be able to do things. Like, if we had that safety net, we could go aggressive on that Zarya. We could just use the shuttle, and instead of using the Translocator constantly to just get into position, and we should be on full health here, there's no reason not to pick up this health back. We could be using it to just go super aggro.
Mercy still has res, she's hacked.
That's nice. I'm okay with us taking that hack. Reinhardt gets ulted.
Mercy down.
Mercy's dead. Team just needs to back up, take it easy. We should be picking up the health pack. It's ultimate charge, it's health, there's no reason not to.
Ryan's hacked, he has shatter.
I'll be absolutely fine with us doing this, but we could have done this 2 seconds later. We could have done this by just moving this way. If he puts his barrier up, we still have options to do this. Get those health packs. They are so important. So important. We're sort of lucking out in that their team has very limited real damage because they're playing Hanzo. So Hanzo
So close.
Hanzo can't hit shit. And so, yeah.
Okay.
I actually want to check, how low is this Reinhardt? About half. So he almost dies. We would have killed him if we took the health back. Relatively certain. We would have probably died immediately after. We would have still killed him.
Okay, so close.
I watched your Tank Brawl video and you said that Winston had the lowest skill ceiling in the game. Would I still agree with that? Would I still agree with that statement? Tricky. I'd say Symmetra maybe has a slightly lower. Maybe? I'm still relatively confident saying that Winston has one of the lowest ceilings. And that a Winston played to 100% is, to me, still less impressive than a Genji played to 100%. Maybe even a Reinhardt played to 100%. Definitely less than a Zarya. So we can be way more adventurous. We could be jumping down, just getting into this. Like, we can be getting into Zarya's butthole here if we really wanted to. Because we have this safety net, we can actually go and do these things. And our objective isn't to kill them, our objective is to build ultimate. We're so close to EMP, we build up the EMP, we get it done. And if you think, like, if you're worried about the Hanzo, we're no safer stood here from the Hanzo than we are stood behind them, where we're just, like, juking around, getting damage right into the backside, making their lives incredibly difficult, and pooping all over them. And that's going to happen if Hanzo actually starts camping. That's a problem. So let's listen to some shot calling because, you know, I said I was going to talk about it.
Mid 90.
Okay, that's good.
EMP.
Okay, I see what we've. Okay, so we recalled to get the EMP available. Honestly, I don't think we need to recall here. We definitely don't want to go this way. Like, we could have just stealthed and just gone. So I think we're way too delayed here. We could stealth and just start pushing in. Tell the team, okay, get ready to go. Like, everyone is alive. Everyone has been alive. Nano's ready. And honestly, the way that their team's been positioning, like, what we want to be looking at Sombra is how is their team positioned.
Mid 90.
So you want to be, like, you know, we have a relatively simplistic objective, so we have enough mental processing power to actually think about all of this. We can see that the Zarya is, like, very far forward. Zarya's far forward, Reinhardt's far forward, Mercy's all the way over here. Anna's all the way over here, Hanzo's up here. Odds of us hitting everyone, 0. Like, they are positioned way too spread out for us to hit everything. What we can do is we can take 200 hit points off Zarya instantaneously and deny her any abilities. We can deny Reinhardt the ability to save the Zarya in the event that anything happens. We can get 2 pretty much instantaneous kills with EMP. Or we can try and go into the backline with supports, but we have no real dive to follow us. So doing that's not really going to work out, especially with these 2 tanks in front. You can't really run past a Reinhardt and a Zarya that easily without having something super mobile or super aggressive, which we just don't have. So I think, well, honestly, we would have been fine just moving forward and just EMPing these three. Definitely kills off the Zarya pretty easily, and we'll probably get you the Reinhardt as well. Mercy comes in, she uses her res. Okay, you still have an advantage. Like, you've traded EMP for res, which, honestly, kind of worth it, because you can get EMP back so quickly.
We could EMP into the nanoed monkey.
EMP'd into Nano Monkey. Okay.
Zarya's low.
That Zarya is dead. We should definitely be looking... Hack that. Good man. We should be looking to EMP this. We totally missed an opportunity here. Like, we have all the advantages right now still. They are badly overextended. Then Genji scoops up some kills. Now we back out.
Shatter again.
Okay. That's interesting res. So we're looking for it, we're looking for it. There's no need to force
He's
it.
coming in, you guys ready? Here we go. Oh. Mercy down.
Nice. Very
Hell
nice.
yeah, guys, good play.
A little bit slow.
Here we go.
This is what I would say. Like, you don't need to... Don't do this where you go, okay, guys,
He's coming in, you guys ready?
are you ready? You don't need to wait for that. Like, you can see that the team is in position. We can see that everyone's moving in. This is a team being aggressive.
Here we go.
Winston's already going in. You just say, okay, guys, I'm ready to go. I'm going in. EMP's going in now. EMP going in 3, 2, 1. You get it. And then you get onto the Mercy, which is perfect. You literally land in front of her, even though she's not in the grav.
Hell yeah,
It-
guys, good play.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Hands alone, top left.
If you ever think, by the way, just sort of go back to Mercy. Let's actually get Mercy on the screen.
Here we go. Oh.
If you ever think, like, this is a really nice situation for us because she's right in front of us, she has no one to dash to, she's completely vulnerable, she's locked down, she can't move, so we can just sort of hold left mouse button on her, no problem. If you're in a position where, you know, the Mercy might be a bit mid-range, she might not have been called in the EMP, so she might have dash, don't be afraid during the EMP time to hack the Mercy again. Just to give you that little bit of extra time where Mercy will not be able to resurrect. Because the worst thing that could happen now is that Mercy somehow gets away and doesn't resurrect. And I've seen this happen with Sombras where they'll get a good EMP off and get the Mercy EMP'd. So she can't res. And then they won't be able to finish off the Mercy because everyone else is killing the team. They don't manage to finish off the Mercy because she's at mid-range or she was in the process of Guardian Angeling or something. There's just some reason why she's away. And then they don't hack her either. Just get that hack because you want to buy time for your team to do things. Denying the res is the most important thing. If you aren't 100% certain that you can deny the res, do the thing that will make it 100% certain. Honestly, in this case, you just shoot her.
Left.
I can appreciate going for the hack, but she's always going to grenade there. You're never going to get it off. So just kill her. Now we should be setting up for the next point. That's a good time for us to do that.
Go to EMP.
Just take this health back. Okay. Hanzoed.
That hands was a pretty good
Feels
shot.
bad. Succubus. Yes, the Mercy is called
He's a
Succubus.
health pack on the left.
And they're not playing Imp Mercy. Like, literally the character, like, the attractive female character that seems to bargain for souls. And they're not playing Imp Mercy. Really now. Talk about your lack of thematics. Again, I really don't like this use of... Like, it kind of works here. Let's get the Reinhardt.
Ryan's
Good.
back, he has shatter.
I don't like the drop down here. There is very little good that comes out of this. Like, let's be realistic. If the Reinhardt's being healed up,
Back, he has shatter.
the amount of difference we're going to make at super close range is relatively limited. Especially if we walk into a situation like this where he can just clobber us around the head and their team should be doing a lot of damage into here, but they're not because they have a Hanzo. Lol. Welcome to the weaknesses of Hanzo. If we can back up and hack him. Yes! Perfect. Fucking lovely. Very, very happy with that. I've seen so many Sombras just shooting at him. No. No, 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 no. Nice finish. Okay. That one's a little bit better. Don't use your EMP just yet. Okay, good. So let's talk about this drop down. Like, I don't like it. I think this is like inviting us to die, basically. The hack is great. The hack is superb. The damage we're doing as Sombra is pretty limited still. Like, that's no surprise. Like, at this range, we're not going to do any damage to an armored Reinhardt. What we are going to do is be a constant fucking pain in the ass. And the damage output we're doing here is just so limited that the rest of the team's got this. We want to be in a position where we can exert control more than anything. Like I said before, this is something I'm ridiculously happy with. It is impossible for a Genji with a Dragon Blade to do more than like maybe 2 kills if he's hacked. Because Genji is so reliant on the mobility he gets, so he gets a speed boost, which is okay. Like, he gets a very I think he moves from like 6 meters per second to like 7 or 8 meters per second. But the big thing is he gets a dash every time he kills someone, and he gets a free dash when he uses his ult. So he'll dash into the air, or he'll dash to a location, draw Dragon Blade, swipe, dash, maybe get a reset with a dash, dash again, and use that mobility to connect the dots and kill everyone on your team. If he's hacked, he can't do that, and so he'll just be standing around swinging his... He'll just be playing with his sword, just doing friggin' nothing. So yeah, like, it's completely crippling to him, and it's a standard ability for you, and it's an ultimate for him. And he gets his area, but whatever. We're also most of our way to an ultimate chat. Okay? While that's going and finishing this off, we have a lot of safety tools. We should just be getting out here. So the hack there is a little bit greedy. Throw the Translocator, we're out. We're out like the gout. We don't even have to run back to our team here. Like, when we see that this is happening, I would honestly be very worried about jumping off this way. If their team was more accurate, this would be a very dead Sombra. We could be falling back to where there's like a health pack just up here. We could go and hack that, take that. We could even be moving into their backlines, take their health packs further in. Like, we can do things. We're a little bit independent, we're a little bit mobile. I know we have EMP available, but honestly, just like fall back, take this health pack, and then just run into the running behind them with the EMP. This is greedy. This is very, very foolish. This is like a half committal. Like, we're worried. We're a bit scared. Did you just call me a wanker? Yes, I did. I called everyone a wanker. No, I called an ulting Genji with nothing to do. He's just playing with his sword at that point. So when we're in a position like this, if we just de-stealth and start shooting people, a proper team without a Hanzo on it will just shoot us. Because we're a 200 hit point hero out in the middle of nowhere. And we don't even have a safety net when doing this because we're holding on to Translocator because we might be using it to engage. Do not just be in this position. We almost die. If they had a soldier, if they had a McCree, if they had a decent DPS, we would be in trouble. Let it go. They just use fucking everything. Do not do anything. Good. Just go take the health pack. Drop a Translocator on it. Drop the Translocator on it. We want that safety net. Okay. See where the team is. We can see where the Mercy is. This is not going to do anything. We're literally just giving them an ultimate. Like, we aren't going to kill a Mercy when the Ana is positioned here. So we know that the Ana has sight on the Mercy, the Ana has sight on us. We should be scared of this. This is actually a little bit scary. So even though we have a safety net, we don't need more resources. We have an ultimate already. The only reason we should be leaving is if we can confirm a kill, which we can't really in this position unless we get right next to her, and even then it's risky, because she's just very high mobility. There's just nothing off the back of this. And all the damage we do, Anna's just going to heal it up. Anna's going to get some of the nano boost back. She does end up using grenade, which is okay. Just EMP. Why are we hacking? Why are we hacking? No, Instead of doing this nonsense, we could just press a single button, they both be hacked. This is like... I don't understand. I don't understand. This would be perfect.
You guys want EMP?
We're gonna pull the trigger now.
EMP's coming in.
Okay,
Their Mercy's up top.
a little bit late.
Nice.
McCree did good. We got a lot of value off that.
Genji is ult.
Just keep your eye on that lad. He's gone towards a hacked health pack. There's actually another hacked health pack that he's moving towards. Actually, I don't think we finished that one, so that's a bit of a shame. But hey, just keep shooting. Try and build up what ultimate we can. When we see this Reinhardt come out, like now is when we should start peeling around. Because if we can get the hack onto this guy, he's so much less useful. And I don't think we should be translocating to do that. I think we could just leave the translocator here, where we're standing, and then just run around. No one's really going to stop us just moving around that way, because the Reinhardt has to keep his barrier up. The Hanzo is trying to kill more high priority targets than us. He wants to be killing healers, he wants to be putting arrows in easier to hit stuff. So there's nothing really going to stop us just running around to the side here. He also has Earth Shadow, I'm relatively sure. So yeah, we want to make sure that he is hacked. He's maximum hacked, and we don't want to be in like a big group. And if we have the Translocator on the opposite side, if the Reinhardt turns and tries to kill us, well, we just Translocate out. Instead of running around stealth when we want to be fighting. Nice. Feels bad, man. Honestly, that's okay. Like, the Hanzo is not going to stop everything.
Watch the res.
A little bit of an excessive hack, and we don't have it for the Genji. Like, I'd say the hack on the Mercy is completely pointless. You can see from this health bar, she's either going to res, and she used it earlier, I think, and she's either going to res to survive, like if she had it, she's going to res to survive, and there's no way in hell that we'll be able to do it in time, or she's going to just die. And once the animation has started for the Hanzo, I don't think Sombra can cancel it, unfortunately. Unless you're EMPing. Then you might be able to do it. Not keen on the stealth here. I'd rather just we stand back and try and hack the Genji, for example. Like, we're trying to be overly fancy when we want to be thinking about like how contribution per second is sort of what's rolling through my brain. And right now, okay, we're not contributing, but we're setting up a survival insurance. Zarya starts focusing us, we use it. Now we're repositioned and no one can touch us. No one can stop us doing anything. So we can just right click on someone and we'll get a hack on them. Unless Reinhardt puts his barrier up, but he's busy smacking people on the point. Genji he's jumping around all over the place. Like this movement here, we could be doing this while holding the right mouse button instead of doing this while stealthed. Alright, use his ultimate. And then we end up losing. I'd say the biggest mistake we made was definitely earlier on. Still stalling. Don't think it's going to last too much longer. There it goes. Like, back in this moment, this EMP is way, way later than it needed to be. Like, it's like we're waiting to make sure that the team is all ready when we can assume a couple of things. Like, if the team is already fighting and an EMP happens, the team won't stop fighting. The team won't suddenly stop, and like we can use moments like this as a little bit of a breather. So it's like we can just use this moment and go, okay, the team's all the way over there. They're going to take at least 10 to 15 seconds to get to any position where they're actually contesting the point. Like the team's all grouped up. I'm out of position. The worst thing that can happen right now is that I die. The best thing that can happen right now is I maybe get a kill. Fine with us poking out, the second you see that the Ana and the Mercy are set up like this, if we go on the Ana, the Mercy will support her. If we go on the Mercy, the Ana will support her. Like, Ana is looking at Mercy at the moment. When we come out here and we just hack her, we're just letting her know that... We're letting everyone know that Sombra's here. Like, it's not really going to do anything, make our lives any easier, and then we're not going to get any tangible results out of it. Now the team is pushing. Tanks are in a bit of a bad position. We've got Mercy at our back. We even saw where Mercy was. Like we can see that the Mercy's just Guardian Angel and she's sort of floating this way. I'd say if you stand about here and just drop the EMP, you'll probably still get the Mercy and the Ana. Even if you don't, you'll still get most of their tanks in that single ultimate. That's value. It guarantees the kill on the Zarya. It means that Reinhardt, like, this Zarya will be dead already because the Reinhardt's stopping all the damage coming through. We understand the importance of getting the Reinhardt hacked, so we can't just manually hack it. It's just a little bit baffling to me.
You guys want AMP?
I understand, like, wanting the team to be prepared for EMP, because the worst thing you can do is you can just, like, go in and EMP at random. But there is a difference between, like, what I would say, like, a super bad Sombra would do, is they would EMP, like, now. Like, this is, you know, you can sit back and watch this and you know this is completely a ludicrous time to EMP. Because your entire team's dead, there'll be no follow-up. And I've seen Sombras do this where they'll panic and go, oh my god, I've got to EMP. And then, like, oh, I'm in perfect position for an EMP. I'll do it now and get everyone. Oh wait, everyone's dead. Even worse would be to do it now, because you'd be just staggering yourself, right? No one's in position, no one's ready. So we can use this moment to just take a time, and this is the point where we could actually be shot calling. We could actually be saying, okay guys, I'm in position for an EMP. Next fight, we'll just push forward. I'll try and EMP the tanks, burn down the tanks. If they res, then we follow up with something. Press tab, check what your team has available to you. If you have a Dragon Blade, for example, if you have any other ultimates, then it's like save them until after the resurrection. If it goes off, then we can use those and we could just win the fight. That would be shot calling. Like, that will be very, very simple shot calling. Using this little bit of downtime, just construct a simple plan. Like, you have that little bit of time. That's all shot calling is. It's usually just when you start the fight, you want to have a plan and you want to make sure that everyone on the team knows the plan. Barest bones of shot calling. We can easily be doing that by setting up the plan. We could see where our team is. We can even get a peek out on the enemy team. We can see that, like, Anna, top left. We can see the tanks are stood in the front. We know everything about the enemy team's positioning. We know what ultimates we have available. They just use all of theirs. Easy time for us to just make a little plan. And that's all shot calling really is starting fights with a plan. What we're kind of doing is we're almost like forcing the shot calling of, like, I'm going to make sure every time I EMP, the team knows that I'm EMPing. Not always necessary. Otherwise, we're going to swap it up. I'm actually kind of happy to see us swap it up as well. I don't rate Sombra very highly on defense on Gibraltar. I could be completely wrong on that. I didn't used to rate Sombra very highly in many maps. Now she's meta. Feels bad, man. Razor Dore? Or Razor Door? Could be Razor Door, could be Razor Dore. I'm going to say Razor Dore, because it makes you sound like an elf. I like that.
The monkey? Okay.
So we're going to swap it up. Like I said earlier, this is about the Talentusum. Good old Talentusum. So we're going to be playing it with Reaper. Reaper, who is coming in very vogue in defense particularly. He's very good in any kind of... When the enemy monkey is very bad, if the enemy Winston isn't very good, Reaper is friggin' amazing. Reaper can just punish mistakes extremely well. He's really powerful in close range. He can really stick in a fight. If you're fighting in a situation where you're fighting against a tank, you have way more survivability than you'd ever expect. You guys prefer Anna or Lucio? In this situation, I would prefer the Lucio myself. Because we have a Reaper and a McCree, they both benefit hugely from movement speed. Reinhardt also benefits hugely from movement speed.
I mean, Anna pairs well with the monkey, yeah.
Anna can work, though. Like, I wouldn't say either decision is terrible.
So, don't go crazy.
Beyblade is still sweet. Yeah, Nano Boosted Death Blossom is really powerful. The only problem with Nano Boosted Death Blossom is that D.Va exists.
I'm gonna be more focused on who tries diving the healers here.
So what I'd say is that if you're going to start in this position, don't be looking up this way. So the way that most teams engage on which point Gibraltar is anyone who doesn't benefit from extra movement speed. Widowmaker, Soldier doesn't really need Lucio. Like, when I say benefit, I mean really fucking benefits. McCree can't reposition quickly, is better at medium to close range. Reaper, better at close range. Reinhardt needs to be in close range to hit things, or to retreat, or to move around. Winston doesn't really necessarily need a Lucio to get around. He can just jump around and do what he wants. D.Va doesn't really need Lucio to get around effectively. She can just rocket wherever she wants. Genji, like, it helps on the engages a little bit, but again, Genji Tracer can get where they need. The nice thing about Lucio is it gets them there even faster and gets reliable healing onto them where necessary. He's also very good at peeling targets as well, so Lucio has a lot of strengths in that way, where an Anna, for example, wouldn't. Reaper really needs that Lucio. Really needs that Lucio. But anyway, like I was saying, before I got distracted by chat, it's a fair enough question. common route coming out of Watchpoint Gibraltar these days is leaving from that high area spawn, jumping onto the bridge, and then pushing sort of, this way. Right? They jump onto the bridge and then push into that small room to contest the blue boxes area, like Heaven, people call it, where it's just sort of that top area. So you want to contest that, rather than just sitting and waiting for them to sort of push all the way around here. Just wait on the bridge and then see
focus on the weaves, really.
who comes out. And the nice thing about Reaper is if we get caught, we can still Wraith form out, and we can just sort of Wraith form towards our team. We can be protected if we have an Anna, then Anna can actually help us get out if we just stay in line of sight. This, we shouldn't be scared of this. But this is also part of why looking this way is very important. Winston doesn't scare us at all. Like, this sounds really weird to say. He's so not scary. And if we react a little bit faster and just a little bit better, so we can hear he jumps in, and then for some reason we're looking this way. Looking this way, nothing's going to happen this way. Everything's going to happen this way. If we just step forward and we just shoot him, there's no way Winston ever wins this fight. Our DPS output's too high, our healing is way too high. He would just die. Obviously, we mess it up a little bit, we mess up the landing a little bit, but Anna gives us a very nice bionic grenade. We just want to back up, let's get back to our team. Hey, there's Genji, let's peel for our mercy.
Watch for the dash.
I need a healer.
We take our time with it.
Thank you.
Fair enough. Nicely done. Let's move back to our team. They're pushing the payload.
Alright, let's run.
Take a quick peek out. We have Wraith Walk, so we should feel relatively safe in doing things. Don't like this decision at all. Why don't I like this decision at all? This is a completely and utterly pointless use of Wraith Walk, of Shadow Step. There's this man here. Any slight repositioning from him, and there's a chance that he can get a headshot on us. It's a Hanzo. You got a big pumpkin for a head. Don't like it. It's just too predictable. It's too easy. If they jumped up and suddenly dove onto the high ground, we could just die. And honestly, we're not that bad just engaging from behind here. Like, if we just go up and over and then just go in from behind, wouldn't be too bad. If we are scared, we could just Wraith Walk and just go through our through the enemy team and go back into our team. We're safe doing it that way. Or we could just run across. If we see the Hanzo, then we can Wraith Walk and we can feel relatively secure on that. I would be very cautious in using Shadow Step at any point where you can be contested with it, because it's just the easiest kill in the world, right? Otherwise, this is where we want to be. This is where Reaper is at his happiest. Big brawly fight, lots of big targets to shoot, lots of big tanks to be hitting, barriers everywhere as well, lots of healing on the team. We are feeling super happy about where we are. We can just, this is our cubby hole. Let's just shoot the shit out of Zarya. Just keep shooting the shit out of Zarya. Walk in, keep shooting. We shouldn't be backing up here. We should not be scared of this. They're now anti-healed. We have a Mercy pocketing us. We have big targets to be hitting. This Zarya is on so little health. She's on high charge, but she's reloading on little health. We can actually go aggressive here. We have our entire team at our backs. If we just walk into this Winston, he's dead guaranteed. The Zarya is probably dead. Instead, Winston goes man mode,
Genji behind, watch yourself.
and we don't.
It's melt.
As a result, our team spreads out. Like, this Genji's not going to do anything. He's not that scary. Let's get back underneath. Good. He's deflecting. Take your time. I will say, if you're in a one-on-one situation, I'm fine with using that as a reload time. What I'm not fine with is in a situation where there's a team fight happening and Genji does this. The second you see the deflect, like, we take a lot of damage from that, fair enough, that always happens. Genji deflects, if you fire a shot into it, you will take a shit ton of damage, and always assume that you've taken a shit ton of damage. It never feels like you'll take that much damage, but you take a lot of damage. But when he does it in this situation, like, we could just have gone, oh, you're deflecting, turn around, walk towards the fight, and walk towards the rest of the fight. Find someone else to shoot. Shoot this barrier. Get rid of the barrier. Like, we can do all these things instead of doing other stuff. This Genji isn't going to do anything, gets killed by Genji. It's because we decided to take a fight against the Genji instead of taking a fight against the targets who are actually really good at fighting. It's a fucking beauty of a res. You ready to walk out of it? Just put a couple of shots into him. We almost have an ultimate. Put a couple of shots into Zarya. Walk in. Honestly, we don't need to queue at the moment. I'll hold off on it. We should just be able to clean this up. Just keep shooting. Just keep shooting. Get on the point. Fight the Zarya. You can fight this. Why are we running? We can fight this. You got a big angry gorilla. Oh, that's stupid by her. That's so stupid by her. You have a really big angry gorilla with you. we are on very high, like she's on very high charge, but we can kill her in like 3 shots if we just take the engagement. So what I would have liked to see is us stop here, jump onto the payload, and just go kill her. Just go friggin' kill her. We can use the payload to juke her laser a little bit, let the Winston come back in, he can do a little bit of extra damage. If she bubbles, we can just juke around the payload, keep fighting around the payload, no real problems, no real issues. Wraith Form out of it. I don't know if they've changed it so that Reaper, like, I know Reaper could Wraith Walk out of it, and this is just ridiculous. We'll talk about this in a second. I don't know if, I know on the PTR they changed it so some abilities do work, some don't work on the PTR when you're in a graph. I don't know if Reaper will still work getting out of it, so who knows. Yeah, so first things first, we have an Ana Mercy healing us. Like, we are feeling, we should feel tanky as fuck right now. We have 2 of the biggest healing in the game. Reaper can still walk out of it. Can he still walk out of it? Because they changed a couple of things. They might change it again. Who knows? I'm not 100%. I think that if he can't dash out of it, I don't think Reaper should be able to Wraith out of it, in my humble opinion. Anyway. Like, instead of doing this nonsense, we could have just held the corner. I don't understand why we wanted to be on high ground. Actually, I do understand why we wanted to be on high ground, which is, high ground would technically be a better, safer position, but we have no way of getting there effectively or safely. Our team is all coming out, so congratulations to our team. Very brave. And we could have just held this corner. We have 2 of the strongest healers in the game. They don't have a diva. The Zarya is on high charge, but she's taken a bit of a pounding and might not have bubble back up. If she has bubble back up, it still doesn't really change much. As long as healing is getting pumped into us, the Genji deflect is sort of the one annoying thing. Genji just dashes through us. At this point, we should just jump onto the payload and press Q. Mercy could just keep healing us. We'll survive anything the Zarya puts out because we'll be self-healing during all of this time. And we can just clean up on the fight. Rather than going for this overcomplicated, over-risky maneuver, we know that the enemy team is coming. We try and Shadow Step. It doesn't pay off. Shadow Step is an out-of-combat ability used to get into positions and set up before a fight begins. Using it in any fight? No.
Are we able to dive?
I'd say even like this Shadow Step is risky. I'd say if we were using it to get up onto the shuttle, then sure. But like, it's not uncommon for the enemy team to the moment the point looks like it's won, it's not uncommon for Genji to just run out here, and then he'll just see, oh, there's a Reaper, Shadow Stepping. Ding ding ding, 3 headshots. Oh, lovely, he's got tons of ultimate charge. There's nothing stopping us just running this. And then Shadow Stepping on top of the shuttle a little bit earlier, because you can see the Genji's already coming through. And at higher levels, the Genjis will be doing that even faster.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, don't do it when we're alone, but...
Be a little bit careful doing this. Break that barrier.
Just need heals first.
Stop shooting, stop shooting. Okay, just kill this area. Good. Let's get on the Winston. Just get on the Winston. Why do I say get on the Winston instead of shooting like the Genji, for example? If we're shooting the Winston, we're not going to die and we're going to kill the Winston. Like, if the Genji's shooting, like if we are hitting all of our big damage into this big meaty Winston body, we are feeling real safe and real happy about doing that. We could also be doing that while just walking towards these boxes and setting ourselves up on this corner so that we can then do a Death Blossom around this corner.
We gotta try and get that Mercy too.
Hanzo dropping down. He's hanging around Mercy.
I think I'm fine with just hanging around this corner. Go and punish the Winston. Okay. You'd definitely be looking for it now. Little bit too early. Touch too early. Sort of touch too early and maybe a little bit over ambitious. Got a Nano Mercy though. Not too bad. Okay. Let's get this Death Blossom perfect. So when we're looking at this, we should be thinking of 2 things. We should either aim to kill the Mercy, or if we're not killing the Mercy, we should kill everyone. The way that they're standing right now, like this is a team that is retreating and breaking apart. The cool thing that we can see though is that the golden, like we see Mercy and she's gone this way. We should just follow that, because there's no reason why not. The easiest way for us to follow that is actually a little bit of an indirect path, but we can just jump onto this, jump over this, and we're literally on top of the Mercy. Press Q, Mercy dies. Really good for us. We might die afterwards, but honestly, still a good trade, because that Mercy has res, 100%. Instead, we just sort of run around the corner, and by that time, Mercy's peeled back, Anna's peeled back, Winston's jumped elsewhere, and we're just shooting into a Genji who's just deflecting all of it. And as such, it sort of all goes horribly wrong. We have to be a little bit cleverer with our Reaper ults. Isn't it cute? Isn't it adorable? This is nice though. I'm honestly, like, this is actually a nice sort of recovery. Well, we just decide, you know what? Genji's gone on our backline killing everyone, but we stay on the right target focus. Zarya's got a bubble on it, okay. Change target, kill the Ana first, turn around, now we should kill the Zarya. We shouldn't have wraithed here.
Their healers are down.
I don't know why we wraithed there. I know it gives us a reload, but we should have just reloaded. We should have reloaded until the point where Zarya... If Zarya turned around and started shooting at us, then we can wraith to get the free reload and get all that stuff. But if we could just reload for free and then start shooting Zarya and keep hold of Wraith Walk, we should keep a hold of Wraith Walk. Basically, you shouldn't be using Wraith Walk until you're in danger, or until you know you're in danger. We weren't really in danger though. The Zarya's not going to burst us from 126 hit points, so we're okay. Really want to keep an eye on that left side. Good, we're doing that. Take your time. Don't walk in front of the Ana, for the love of God. So, if I was this Ana, I would have just pressed shift now and you'd be asleep. Like, we don't walk in front of her. We have a really nice location. We can see she's not looking at us, she's looking ahead. And then we want to move away from her line of sight. Also driving her away from the team, which is super nice. And yeah, like, that will just be way better. Don't walk in front of Anna's, because she will just throw a grenade and then she will throw a sleep dart. Feels bad, man. Honestly, I was happy with the patience, because we didn't need to engage any earlier. They have two very powerful healers, so we can just hunt them down. Now we're being a little bit greedy. But honestly, I'm still okay. I'm relatively okay with this. What I will say is I would rather we are looking this way. I imagine that we're listening very attentively, because this is where listening for enemy footsteps and stuff like that is super important. But yeah, we want to be definitely looking this way, because the door that they come, like, most people will leave via this door. And we just
back, whoever's up there.
get the Mercy.
Taking out the Mercy.
Pathway here, we should be using. Don't press Q, whatever you do. Okay.
Pull back, whoever's up there.
This might just be a simple ignorance thing. So let's fix that. Let's teach. These boxes act as like a staircase. So you can use these. It's very easy to just jump up on them. The reason why I say don't press Q here, Ana is a hard counter to Death Blossom. If you don't know if she has a sleep dart or not, it's never a good idea. She actually blows it, which is kind of good for us, but then the Zarya is also there to act as peel. And the Zarya positions herself really nicely as well. We do a lot of damage, but this is just, it feels super greedy. Like, we're going for a Wraith, and sort of all my experience was telling me this is not good. It's just like the Zarya is too survivable, the Ana has too many counters, and so it's just like, you sort of walk in here and there's like no pressure on these two. They know that you could press Q here, and so they're already setting up for it. Really nice play by the Zarya though.
Ana down.
Press Q, we all know who's going to do it. He's a res, oof. 2 DPS aren't there. This is not great for your team. This would be where Shadow Step is perfectly fine. I'm okay with this. Especially because their team hasn't been contesting high ground much. We go up and over. Pick your target. Pick the Mercy. Okay.
Group up, guys.
Ana kills us. I'd say the Mercy is okay as a target. I think the Ana would be even better because no one's peeling for her. Like, she has to completely be self-peel. And when you drop on the Mercy, you've got to accept the fact that Ana will be trying to heal the Mercy and trying to stop you as well. So there's a very good chance you'll get a sleep dart or something in your back. Like, when you see this setup, you know that you are going to land right here, right? You know that you are going to be in line of sight of the Ana, who can see, you know, pretty much all of this. And so she knows you're going to be there. Even if she's scoped in, like you can see she's looking this way, she's still looking at the Mercy. So we know that she's going to be a problem for us. So I'd say this sort of falls onto greedy, and you might be better just running to the nose cone and then jumping off so you land more here. And then you can go in out the side from the Ana, which pulls her attention away as long as you duke the sleep dart. And even if you don't duke the sleep dart, she can't really kill you. And if you use the cool lands on you. And yeah, because even the Hanzo turns around and helps peel. And that's, I think, what actually kills us. He's using L shapes, good Ana. Yeah.
Contest if we can, so they're pushing it fast.
Actually a really good point. Like the Ana is pretty much obeying what I consider one of the rules of good. Actually, it's semi-good Ana positioning, I'd say. Like right now, it's great. So what I mean by good Ana positioning, Ana is like stood over here. Most of the fighting is in this area. Most of our team is this way. So basically, for us to get to Ana, we have to take this long, convoluted route. Like, there's no easy way for our team to hit Ana unless the Reaper stood on top, right? So the Ana is actually in a really nice position. Because she can see all of her team, and she can see some of our team, and then she can cover people as well. So even as the dive comes in, the Ana is really safe. Maybe she could be a little bit safer if she's over here. Or maybe a bit closer to this, or closer to this, so she has complete line of sight control, but still. And this is maybe a little bit too out in the open. It's nice. It's very functional positioning. Right. Onwards and upwards. We come out, and it's a clusterfuck. Our shadow's good. Perfectly fine with us just going and drilling that guy.
Stay in the trance.
Stay in the trance. You could have just stayed in the trance. No issues at all with that. You can see Transcendence still going on, so the race a little bit greedy. Wrong target. We've been doing okay on target prio so far. We've been doing alright on target prio. Like, we're following the Mercy around, and then suddenly we turn onto the Genji. That's 100 health. That's another 100 health. And we're dead. Genjis are scary. Genjis are scary for Reaper. The reason why Genji is scary for Reaper is you fire a shot and you can hear like the and you used to like your doing, you know, on someone the size of Reaper, it'll do about 50 to 75 damage, but what Genji does is he focuses it all into one point, and so that damage is just huge. You really have to play mind games with Genjis, bait the deflect. I think we got stuck there.
I think we're actually.
That looks to me like we're sliding and we're sort of stuck. In which case, yeah, pull out.
Good escape. Sorry, Reaper.
Yeah, jumped. Okay. This is where Reaper's going to start being a little bit weaker, unless you guys play super tight to the corner. This is where like a soldier would be great. I think soldier will be a-okay here. The reason why is this is a very open space. So unless they are jumping right into you, it's going to be very difficult to get into good position as Reaper. Like, we are basically stuck fighting this corner. We do have a Reinhardt that will help us be able to move out, but you notice, like, we're scared of moving out into this open space because we're shit at it.
Sorry as well.
This is indecisive. We call out Zarya's low. Okay, fair enough. She's backed up and getting healed. If we want to do shot calling, just to sort of get back to the theme, calling out Winston, like, wait for bubble, kill Winston. That would be perfectly fine. Because you've got the Reinhardt on him already, our Winston's going in, your supports are backing you up. We know the bubble's going to fade off on the Winston pretty soon. We have a Zenyatta as well. Like, we could just get rid of that. This is a nice combo by them. Mercy blows a res in it instead of jumping to the McCree. This is partially on the Mercy
Right, we can hold it from here.
to know where the McCree is and escape to him. This is partially on the McCree to go, Mercy, you dashed to me!
We really need that res, I feel like, but we can't have two minor healers.
Never liked that argument. I mean,
That res, I feel like, but
you can't have Zenyatta Lucio. Not true these
can't
days.
have two minor healers.
Especially with Lucio's buffs, Jesus. So the second you see the Dragon Blade hit, this is where we have to Wraith form.
Healers.
The reason why is we're taking damage coming out of here no matter like what happens unless we Wraith form, and we know that Genji's going to be slashing at the doorway. So we just get out, with as many hit points as possible, and we just try and sit on stuff. You see, it's a little bit desperate. It's a little bit desperate. Feels pretty bad, man. Mercy throws. Yeah, Mercy throws by picking Lucio. In a situation where picking Lucio, pretty good. We're on the Tracer for emergencies. Survival is the name of the game. Nice shout out by your team. We should be calling out this area on the point. Honestly, we could have just stayed on that Zarya. Your team is between her and her team. She's also like moving away from cover. We have a Transcendence, so we're fine fighting in it. We could just finish off that Zarya first, probably, before peeling off. I'm also always wary in situations like this, especially in pub games, of leaving the control point. Ooh.
Yes.
Oh! Okay. Let's keep an eye out for that dragon. Lucio dies to the dragon. That's pretty feels bad, man. Keep an eye on our own health. Keep an eye on our own health here, rather. And we still have a blink in the tank. We still have 107 hit points. We could probably just tough that out a little bit longer. The objective there is to dodge and stall, not necessarily to kill, remember. So we want to be primarily looking at our own hit points and then keeping an eye on where threats are. Not necessarily looking to engage them. They push in, they take it. 0-0, close game. Beautiful res by them.
Say Sombra, yeah.
Some bad plays from us.
I should switch off that Reaper sooner.
So then, chat.
We need someone.
It's on you now to ask some questions. I'm going to take a quick swig of a drink and then we'll start addressing them in part number 2, actually, because I'm not doing 3 parts anymore. I'm going to do 2-parters. So it makes the video an hour long, but whatever. And we'll be talking about shot calling. I'll also do a very quick summary, I think, at the start of part 2, just to talk about shot calling a little bit, sort of my thoughts on shot calling, the importance of it, and the unimportance of it at times. It's a really nice combo by them as well. So see you in part 2.